This is the contradiction that's confusing a lot of men right now. On one side, you have women calling other women delusional for their expectations, saying the standards are unrealistic. Okay, saying it doesn't make sense. But at the same time, those expectations are still being pushed, still being rewarded, and still shaping how dating works today. So the question becomes, what's actually real? What women say or what they respond to? I want you to pay attention to this, because what you're about to see explains a lot more than people realize.
A lot of women came at me in that video and said like they have the right to choose who they are attracted to, and I'm like, yo, for real, you are absolutely correct. But the problem is a lot of women have unrealistic expectations, right? You want a 6'4" man who's not bald, he has great head of hair, but it gotta be salt and pepper, so he gotta be in his like mid-30s. He can't have no kids, he gotta have $500,000 in his bank account, and he gotta be making 7 figures a year. He already gotta have a house, he gotta have a nice car, and he has to pay for your entire existence, right? And he better love his family, and he better be in the greatest shape of his life. Meanwhile,
See, she has a point though. That's what I've noticed as well too. It's funny because they say a lot of this. I noticed they say this a lot online. Not her, but like the girls complaining about it. But in reality, most won't really reciprocate that energy. They're just like trying to, I guess, come off as that, like they're high value, or that they deserve it. If you ever see that, don't get too discouraged. Just from my personal experience, I've never had a woman really say that, but I've seen that. I've seen that online. There are some, delusional women that think like that. Like I remember in school, things like that you would probably hear at school or back in the days. But if any woman thinks like that, then I would just completely not talk to her. I would not, because that's not love. If that's the case, you want something that you can't have. That's not how life works. This is why I tell you guys, only focus on the things that you can control, because a woman that wants this, or she has high expectations of you, you should have these high expectations of yourself. You should want to be successful. You should want to thrive for greatness. You should want to have that just for your base of foundation. Based off your foundation, your discipline. No woman is obligated to have this type of mindset unless she is successful herself, right? Unless she is, that's completely different. Totally different.
you ain't got nothing going on for you. And it's fucking delusion. It's fucking delusion. Some of y'all don't be looking at who the hell is gonna help me through the day.
Remember the previous video I mentioned, you can see over here, I mentioned how it's good to be delusional, especially for you young guys. Like, you have a dream, aim high. For a woman as well, you have a dream, aim high, go shoot for it. Delusional is fine if you have a dream so sacred that you know like you will achieve it, and people are calling you crazy. Example being, you want to make it to the league. Example being, you want to move to a different country, and you're being persistent and you're trying to somehow align with it. These are all delusional dreams to have. That's fine, because you have to be crazy enough to believe it. That's the only way. People are going to tell you, what are you doing? You can't do that. That's impossible. Stick to this. Do this instead. Slow down. Don't try to. That's what you would be told. When you're delusional, when you say, oh, fuck what everybody thinks, fuck what I'm gonna do me. Now you start attracting things, right? Because you will have that belief in yourself. Your reality, your world is a reflection of your inner state. So if you don't mean it, you tell people, right? Like, you're a young man, you play high school basketball or middle school basketball, and you want to make it to the league. Right? It's crazy, right? Like, because we know how hard it is to make it to the league, whether it's NFL, basketball, whatever it is, soccer. You have to be working every second, every day to achieve that. And if you have that work ethic, you will achieve it. And if it doesn't, God forbid, but you will achieve something even greater. I promise you that. Just because it's based off that discipline foundation. But majority, I promise you, you will make it. I wish I knew this earlier too in life, but you live and learn. But when you are moving, like, it's the only thing on your mind, nothing else matters, right? You're blocking off girls. Like, everybody's going out to party. That's where, we used to hear that back, and I know many of you guys probably heard that, like, oh, stop, you got to cut off all distractions. Like, we all heard that, and like many guys just ignored it. Once I realized that years ago, once I realized And people will look at me, oh my God, you're so isolated. Don't be like this guy, doesn't have friends. You have to be crazy. You have to make sacrifices, right? If you want a new version of yourself, you got to sacrifice the old version. That comes with some risk. That comes with saying goodbye to some closed doors, right? Closing a chapter.
Some of y'all don't be looking at, if I were to get sick, is this man gonna be by my side? A lot of y'all have such unrealistic expectations, and that's why all these older women are just single and bitter, and they're like, oh, men is shit. When that's not the reality. It's not. It's really not. It's just that you want the perfect fucking man when you're not perfect.
I like that. She has a point, though. She definitely has a point. I totally agree. And that goes for guys as well, too. You can't ask for something. You can't want something, but you are not aligning with. That's basically what she was saying towards the end. If you want that, right, are you matching that? Right? You can have delusional thoughts. You can have delusional dreams. You can have delusional expectations. Right? Because that's what separates you from the bunch. That's what makes you achieve. That's why anybody that's successful, they were delusional. No matter how they take it or how they looked at it. They can confirm that. You have to be delusional. You have to take risk. You have to believe in yourself so confidently that nobody's voices can derail you from your path, right? No one's thoughts can get into your subconscious mind and tell you're not able to do that. You have to like literally overcome it. If you're not matching that frequency, you're not gonna achieve or attain the things you want. But I'm glad she said that, because, you know, this shows you guys like how, you know, there are women like they think like this. You know, we talked about this on the last video, but you know, and they're entitled. I don't want it to make it seem like it's a hate train now for women, but it's like they are entitled to feel like that, right? If their inner state is matching that, right? She has to be successful herself, right? Whether she went to school, college, she has a good job, she's doing well for herself, she's independent. She can have all that expectation she wants because she matches it. Does that make sense? But if it's like some girl that's just out here just, you know, smoking weed every day or partying, hooking up with dudes left and right, you know, not a good person, like stuff like that, like how are you gonna meet that expectation? And then that's kind of rude to swerve off all the good guys or the good men that want to take you seriously, and that like you for you. But at the end of the day, she has the right to feel that, right? That's why I'm always big on focus on what you can control, because you can't control certain people. Don't try to change her mind. Don't try to change her perception. Reality will either wake you up or take you to where you want to be at. And it's all based off of your inner state. So yeah, it's nothing wrong with, you know, being delusional when it's in terms of it's a good thing. But I would never, it's crazy though, like if I'm going to be real too, because I know the guys are like, oh man, you're sugarcoating. It's like, yeah, you know, I can be cutthroat, but it's like, I'm big on, you know, believing in yourself and taking risk and being delusional, right? So people would think that's crazy. That's crazy. But I would say that to your dreams, right? It should never be a guy's dream to have a certain type of girl, right? There's other things to be worried about. You have things you need to be focused on. She only adds value to your life. She's not the complete package. You don't need her to reach a certain height. Maybe you do though, right? And I'm not saying that she won't help you elevate. I'm not saying that as well. Because a good woman can definitely, you know, give you that peace, give you that. She can bring a whole different side of you, right? But also they can destroy your life as well too. And we've seen that a lot. But I don't think, for me personally, I don't think it's. And you know, I'm gonna get criticized for this, but it's like I don't really think anybody needs each other, honestly. I think together is better, obviously, but I don't think it's needed, especially for a man. I think for a woman, they kind of do, right? But I've seen many, and I know many successful women who are single and who are doing great for themselves, right? So it's all about how you view life. It's all about your perception of reality, because majority of people are listening to what they're told. They don't think outside the box. They follow what other people are doing. Their friends got married. I've literally had friends tell me they were contemplating getting married soon because all their cousins got married, all their friends, and then I've seen them. I haven't talked to them in like months, and next thing you know, they're married. So, you know, if that's how people want to live, let them live like that. That's their choice. But those watching me that, you know, I personally think you don't need to do that. You don't need to follow the crowd. You can choose based off your inner state. If you really want a partner right now, then you will achieve it. That's why I say, like, if you're not ready for a relationship, but you tell people you are, but, you know, deep down, when it's just you at night, like, you know, you're like, you know, you don't want it, you love the peace, you're not going to attract anything. I guarantee you that.